welcome to Priscilla's Kitchen. If you're tuning in for the first time, my name is Priscilla Umeda and I'm very happy to have you in my kitchen. Listen, I have one request of you. Would you please subscribe? Can you please subscribe? All right, please hit the little bell. It tells you every time I put up a video, and I upload video weekly, sometimes even 2-3 per week. All right, so please do me that favor and subscribe. Appreciate it. Listen, what is your resolution 2022? Mine is simply to do better with my health. As chefs, it can be very difficult to really go on weight loss journey. Not that it's not possible, but it can be challenging because you're going to constantly taste. And I cater for a lot of people, vegetarian and non-vegetarians. So sometimes it can become very challenging. Really, it can. Because you smell it, then you're tasting it, and then now you got to try it. Or then if you really, really love it, then you're going to eat it, right? But I am resolved to really make sure that this year that I'm not, that's why I didn't make a plan ahead of time, because that's what gets me, right? Then you mess it up before you know it. But in this case, I am very intentional in what I eat and what I put in my mouth, and making sure that what goes into that food is the same way I treat my clients. Because trust me, once I consult with you, if I'm catering for you and I consult with you, I just make sure that I exceed. I don't only meet your need, but I exceed it. So why can't I do that for myself? I'm making sure that I'm making conscious changes that I need for my health. Because see, I love my two boys to death. Okay? That being said, let's get cooking. I'll be making some lamb chops. I don't do meat a lot this time. I do I basically kind of eat like maybe twice a week, and sometimes I don't. I'm loving my plant. I'm not yet there yet about as far as vegetarian, but I make the meanest vegan food. You better believe me. A lot of my clients, you would even believe, are vegetarians, right? And I make any plant taste good. That's the advantage of growing up a farmer. So that I'm very grateful for. But let's talk lamb chops. Lamb chops. Lamb is such an expensive meat for whatever reason, y'all. I don't know why. Maybe because I don't eat lamb a lot, but it's so expensive. These two things here. This is what you call a French style pork chop. Lamb chop. I just catered for. I did a pork chop cooking yesterday. I catered for somebody. That's why I'm talking pork. But this is lamb chops. Please, when you hear us say, or chefs or anybody say Frenched, it has been Frenched. It's this here. You see how it's beautifully dressed? So it's tapered up. So you can actually grab like this and eat it like a lollipop when it's cooked. Okay? When it's cooked. Let me tell you a story about lamb. I think maybe that's why I don't do a lot of lamb. When I was new in culinary school, average Nigerians don't do medium rare. Actually, 99% of us, right? The reason I exclude 8% is because I don't know all Nigerians all over, but I guarantee you no more than 1% will go on a rare meat. We don't want to see blood. Actually, Africans like their meat cooked well done. Now, it was only when I was in culinary school, as you start to learn. And then, boom, my first class, it was my third class after, the introductions and all that. We were making lamb chops, and I overcooked mine. They said it's overcooked. I'm like, how can that be? It's not overcooked. It's pretty well done. It's tasty. And they were saying, no, ma'am, it tastes good, Miss Umeda, but it's overcooked. And I go, how? And then they showed me the one they call a perfect lamb chop. My dear, it was bloody. And I'm like, I'm not eating that. And they said, try it. I said, no. And so everybody started singing, go Priscilla, go Priscilla. And I was like, no, I'm not touching that thing with blood. I had a hard time my first year. I have to tell you, it was hard and it was rough. But I go medium well. Can never be medium rare for me. I'm sorry, y'all. But I learned my lesson then. So I cook it to pass my school, but not necessarily that I ate it rare, all right? Well, that I digressed. Here we go. And I'm going to cross this with just few ingredients that I will put together. Then we will sear it. And then I'm going to allow it go very low and slow to cook towards the inside to medium well. or almost medium well, but definitely not medium rare. If you can take a medium rare, go for it. I can't. All right, and if I'm taking care of me, then I'm gonna cook it my way. All right, I am actually my diner today, and so I need to honor the same wish. So if you are taking care of yourself in one way or the other, please make sure you go for the best. No skimping. Go for something really, really good. And I'm going to actually present mine in fine dining way. Same way I just cooked for a client yesterday, right? So I'm going to treat myself very well with this. That being said, pull up your chair and cook with me. Come on. Let's get into the kitchen. Yeah. Stone ground mustard, okay? If you don't like stone ground mustard, you could just use oil. You could brush this with just oil and you'll be just fine, okay? You don't have to have it. If you want Dijon mustard, I have a friend who uses mayonnaise. I'm not a fan of that. I love some thyme to it. So why do I use this? For flavor and also to help me adhere the crumbs we just make. The crumb is made up of, my crumb here is made up of rosemary. I have parsley in there. And then I have pistachios, okay? And then I have Priscilla's herb infused oil for flavor and gloss. Then, of course, Priscilla's house seasoning. These simple ingredients here, I crusted them. I actually put it in buzzed it in my little coffee grinder, all right? Or you could chop it with your hands. It doesn't matter, okay? So then to this now, I'm gonna use a little bit of oil, if you will. So I have one I made on the side, and that's because I cook a lot. I've always said it. So I'm gonna brush this, but I'm never gonna put it back in here because it's meat and I don't want to contaminate my stuff, right? Boom. Now you see, that's why I measured out. Let me get this out of my way. I measured out because I don't want it to go back to just a little bit. Even if you're crusting only both sides, both ends, please flavor every single part of your meat. Always. Here we go. And that's it. And I'm done with that. So please get your Priscilla's house seasoning. It's on my website. You could DM me, call me, email us. All contact details always going to be there. And it will be on its way to you. All right? So that being said, now let's go ahead. I don't need salt anymore because I do have some seasoning here. Listen, if you season your food well, you will know that you don't need a lot of it. Okay, I'm only crusting both sides. I'm not crossing the other part. Now you don't want it too much though. And then I'm cooking it healthy too. Okay, look how delicious it is already looking, right? You want it just on both sides, and that's it. I'm gonna wash my hands and then we're going to go and pan sear it, and then I finish it in air fryer or oven. You can use oven. So I'm going to put some oil into our pan. And the reason you need a pan with a better surface is because you want it to, remember, it's Frenched. you want a pan that can fit this. So I had it on a medium high heat. This is a very cold, this is cold meat. It's not like it's on room temperature for sure. So here we go. Then I'm gonna go ahead and, you don't want it to burn, all right? Just to sear it, and then we'll take it to the air fryer to finish it. I'm searing, people. You don't want it to burn. You see that? If you mess up this lamb chop, any good chef will whoop you. You don't want none of that. So here we go. There you go. So then I'm going to finish this in oven, okay? So we're going to take a break. Just in 5 to 7 minutes, this will be cooked, all right? All right, my friend. Just because you're cooking for yourself don't mean you shouldn't take care of you. Make it like you would feed a diner. Love you all. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like, share, tag, subscribe. Beautiful Frenched lamb chops. Here we go with a puree of peas and a crumble of pistachio. There you go. I'm gonna go eat right now. Thank you. Self-care.